thank you, Dakota, for meeting with me today. So you said it's raining down there in North Carolina?
Yes, sir.
Well,
It was just pouring, but now it's kind of stopped now.
oh, well, we completely understand that here. Living in Kentucky, you got to understand that the river dictates how the weather flows. So, it's just one of those cases that you come here, it may be snowing one day and the next day it's 80 degrees. You got that nice hot and cold mix. But so for the most part, I wanted to kind of see how are you and your family doing with the Corona situation?
We're good. I mean, we're still working out and stuff.
Oh, okay.
We just kind of got to do it a little bit of secret.
No,
we got our own little spot.
Oh, you do? Okay, so your own little training spot. Well, that's pretty awesome. Now, I know you can't go to the gym, and you've been posting some videos about different workouts, and you have your own private spot you can work out with. But for the most part, how's that been? Has it just been kind of just a little difficult, or has there been no change whatsoever?
I mean, honestly, it's been a lot easier, I can say, because it's not like we don't have to worry about times and like scheduling times with other people and using their places and stuff. And we kind of got our own. So like whenever time we want to go, we can go. And we got our own little group that little tiny groups, so we can practice our social distancing. And we just get our work in. And it's simple and it's easy. And we can go whatever time we want to. We don't have to like clock anybody else or worry about anybody else coming in. So it's nice.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I can imagine. I I don't have a regiment like that, but I tell you, it sounds like it would be, especially to get out of the house and get away from the social or just
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was in the house I lose my mind.
Oh yeah. So I recently saw that you just got an offer from South Carolina, the Gamecocks.
Yes, sir.
How now, is that your first offer from them, or is that like the third or fourth offer?
That's my first offer from them.
First offer. Okay. Now I know you've had a lot of different offers. I believe you had one from Georgia the other day, and
Yes, sir.
you actually met Nick Saban a while back, didn't you, for an unofficial
Yes, sir.
visit? Now, how was meeting Nick Saban? Was that just like meeting like an NFL star, or were you blown away by that?
I mean, it was nice because like that's the dude that you like see on TV and everything. He's always in the national championship and stuff. But I mean, it was like meeting all the other coaches. I always get a little nervous, but he was pretty down to earth person.
Well, I mean that's pretty awesome, and you've been up to Louisville a couple times, and
Yes,
you've
sir.
gotten to meet the new staff. And did you meet the old staff under Bobby Petrino, or were you just?
No, sir.
No, you didn't. Okay. So what was it like, or how's it been essentially just getting all these floods of offers from different colleges and universities trying to reach out to you to try and schedule some kind of official visit or some type of on-site campus visit when all this dies down? Has it been overwhelming, or?
No, not really. It hasn't really been overwhelming since we stay in like North Carolina. We don't really like travel other than like going to these camps and stuff. So it gets me able to like see other places. And the colleges, it's nice meeting everybody, because some people you might see at like Louisville, then you'll see the next weekend at like UNC. It's just like you create and you build relationships, and you never know who's going to sign and go to the same place that you're going to. So it's always nice, and like you never know what coaches might switch to different schools. So it's always good to build relationships, and it's just all the different people you meet and all the new faces is great.
Oh yeah, no, I can imagine. You know that I'm a big Louisville fan. Yeah, you've now your position is wide receiver at high school, correct? Or do you
Yes, sir.
change multiple? Oh, okay. So how's been building relationship with Gunter Brewer? Has that been is he a funny guy? Does he really stand out from the crowd, or he really loves Bojangles from what we can tell on Twitter, pretty much.
Well, actually, when we first met him, he came down here. I was totally shy. I didn't know he was coming, but he came and he was talking to me, and I was like, "This is not how I thought he was gonna like talk." He's like very chill, very funny, always making jokes, and he's been able to teach me some things. Like when I went down to the camp, there were some times where I would run a fade route, and he would just tell me little things like dipping your shoulder. They was able to teach me to help me get more separation and get open. So it's great learning what I've learned from him, and I hope I can learn more.
Well, I mean, that's awesome. I'd love to learn from him as well, but I'm a big guy, so I think if anything, that'd be Dwayne Leatherford just putting me on front line. um, Now, recently, 247 Sports put you at a 4-star prospect. How's that been? Do you feel kind of did you feel like you've like that was a shock, or were you expecting to get that 4-star assessment?
Well, it was a shock to me because not really as much as like how I play, but as the school I go to, because I go to a 1A school, I go to like a smaller school. I didn't expect to be ranked as high as I was, but I have performed at camps and kind of like proven myself. So it was like a slap on the wrist, basically, just
Yeah.
saying like, yeah, you did what you had to do, and now we need to keep working so you can get to the next level.
That's what you got to do. You got to keep pushing yourself even further. But I mean, I was excited to see that you got a 4-star assessment based on 24/7, because you deserve it. I've seen your film that's on there and the little bits of training that you've been able to put out, and it's just been phenomenal, honestly.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Now, so recently, I think, did you get you got an offer from LSU as well, didn't you?
No, sir.
Oh, you haven't gotten that yet. Okay. Oh, sorry. I must have thought. But you did get one from Georgia recently, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Now, when this is when the coronavirus settles down, what type of do you have a visit plan set up yet, or are you just kind of just free ranging and seeing, what schools are going to come first?
Right now, I wouldn't say as much as like free ranging, because we're gonna go see the schools that have like shown us interest.
Okay.
Like we're definitely gonna be back down to Louisville, and we're probably gonna go down to see Georgia. We're probably gonna go down to see like App State, Virginia Tech. But like since the coronavirus thing and everybody's like new to it, they don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, so we have to just wait for everything to calm down, wait for them to get back in their rhythm. So before we like make any decisions.
Okay. Now, one of the things I wanted to ask was, have you thought about what type of degree you want to go after, depending on what school you go to?
I want to do sports medicine. So if I'm not like still playing football, I want to still be like involved in the game. So I want to be like maybe like a trainer or something. And I just want a school that's able to give me the best pedestal that I can be on after I graduate.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's, one of the biggest things is following your dreams and knowing what you want to do, and pursuing that. And now, one of the things I kind of talked to your dad for a brief minute about was asking if you had a kind of a top favorite as of yet, kind of like a top favorite schools that you kind of have, like a top 5 or a top 10. Now, you'd mentioned Georgia and Appalachian State and Louisville. And I think you mentioned one other.
App State.
Oh, well, yeah. All right. So would you say those are your top 4 currently, or is it just kind of you're just open to interpretation based on the relationships that you have with the different coaches that you're building?
No, sir. I don't have any top schools right now. I'm just excited to be where I am right now, and I'm blessed to be where I am. And I just thank God that he's put me in this position where I get to meet all these new people and see all these new faces. And it's just great that I'm able to be in this position, putting my little small town on the map.
That's understandable. That's kind of how I felt when Louisville went from the AAC to the ACC. It was, it was a big leap from that, go all of a sudden we're in a Power 5, and it's like, oh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny. I have a commemorative ball behind me. I probably butchered that word. And it's actually was signed by the previous head coach when they actually joined the ACC. And, for the most part, it's deflated over time, and I am scared to death to pump it back up. But, for the most part, what do you think so far over now, I'm going to kind of look at Scott Satterfield's offense real fast. Now, how do you feel that you fit into Scott Satterfield's scheme?
Yes, sir.
You do,
because they have obviously Tutu Atwell, who's a small receiver, but they also have bigger receivers that can go up and get the ball, and they have speedy receivers who are able to get in those like quick routes and catch it and make some more. So I feel like I fit in perfectly.
Now, would you be able to make, now this is just kind of a random thing, but now Tutu, when he was in high school, he played quarterback. And during a previous game this season, Scott Satterfield used
Yeah.
that previous experience, and he had him throw a downward pass to Marshawn Ford, I believe, and, for a touchdown. Now, do you think you'd be able to deliver on the same type of athleticism and be able to throw a downward pass?
Yes, sir.
All
I
right.
threw 2 touchdowns in last year's season. They're both over 35 yards.
Oh, wow. That's pretty amazing. I can't throw 35 yards, I tell you. I mean, honestly, I have the worst spiral in the world. I'll throw it, and it's almost like it's just a weighted ball. It just hits the ground, and I'm looking at it. Now, you'd mentioned Tutu and how they have dynamic players on wide receiver core that are, different sizes, different ranges. We recently, if you've been following with the recruitment, Louisville just had Christian Fitzpatrick come in, who is the brother of Des Fitzpatrick, who Des is entering a senior year this coming season, hoping we have a season. That's just I'm just praying right now. And the size dynamic between both of them, I think Christian is 6'3", and his brother is about 6'1" or 6 foot. So there's an obvious just a difference in height and skill and size and different things they bring, especially Tutu. I think Tutu, I think he's 6 foot or 6'1". He's not this 6'5", 6'7", kind of guy. Now what currently do you stand at?
I've been measured at 6'4" and 6'5", so
6'4"
I'm
and
gonna go
6'5".
like 6'4".
Okay, so you are tall, and you are just gonna now when you do I just 6'4" just blew my mind. I'm sorry, that just kind of that's amazing right there. Honestly, that's awesome. And if you keep growing and get 6'6", and you're just the biggest wide receiver out there, then that's awesome. But, like I had mentioned to you prior in our messages, regardless of what school you go to, I'll still be a fan rooting for you, if it's Georgia, App State, Louisville, or, wherever you go. Now, one of the things is now you'd mentioned, you had the private workout and training area, and you and your family are doing okay. Is there anything that you may want to tell the fans, or just kind of share that not a whole lot of people may know about yourself?
Not really. Well, I grew up. I'm still growing up, but I live in Polk. Okay. And I play at Thomas Jefferson. So in 8th grade, at the end of 8th grade, going into my 9th grade year, I transferred from Polk to Thomas Jefferson. And the year, well, not this year's season, but last year, we finished, what was it, third round? Yeah, we lost in the 3rd round. Mm-hmm. And then this year we lost in the 4th round. And all I want to say is that, like, next year we're going to put TJ on the map, be the first team ever in our county to win state.
Nice. Yeah, no, yeah, that'd be awesome to win state, kind of end that senior year with, just finish off strong. Now you said you're currently in Polk, North Carolina?
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
you've and that's where you grew up originally, or are you just kind of from all over North Carolina?
No, this is where I grew up originally.
Oh, okay. Well,
I've lived here my whole life.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no, that's understandable. I was born and raised in Louisville, so it's I've moved around. I got married. I moved on the outskirts of Louisville, but I still rep Louisville as hard as possible. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up, Dakota. Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna stop recording here in a minute, so that way, and then we can talk here in a second. That's been episode 3, folks. Thanks for watching and commenting and liking. I'm your host, Alucard, and thank you, Dakota Twitty, for joining us on the show to talk about his recruitment process and what's been going on in his life. All right, well, you Cards fans, stay safe out there and have a good one. Go Cards!